Hi everyone, welcome to CIO Leadership Live. I'm Kirti Patil, content strategist at Foundry, and I will be your host for this episode. Our guest for today is Kirti Patil, CTO of Kotak Mahindra Life Insurance Company. Kirti, welcome to this edition of CIO Leadership Live. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you, Kirat. Pleasure is mine.
Thank you. Kirti, let's get right into it. Tell us briefly about Kotak Mahindra Life Insurance and your role and responsibility as CTO of the organization.
So, Kotak Mahindra Life Insurance is one of the fastest growing insurance companies in India, covering over 5 crore lives. Customer first has always been the byword that we live by. Keeping this in mind and the evolving customer needs, we have curated life insurance products catering to the diverse needs of our customers. Recognized as having the highest professional standards, we have developed a culture that encourages our employees to innovate, experiment, and try out new things without fear of failure and strive for improvement. Every achievement at Kotak Life becomes a milestone for the next level of performance. This is Kotak Life, Kirat. I handle technology and digital at Kotak Life. And as the Chief Technology and Digital Officer, my role is to ensure that the technology is not only an enabler, but a driving force for the company and helps the company charter its growth plans.
Thank you, Kirti, for that wonderful response. You highlighted some key points here, tech and digital, which is your domain. I hope we'll be able to get into it as the interview progresses. Given that Kotak Mahindra is a life insurance company, your customers have entrusted you with invaluable personal and financial information. Tell us what goes into building robust data management and data protection structures that keep this data secure yet accessible. And if you could highlight how you're using cloud management systems in this.
So that's a great question, Kirat. So insurance is really all about trust. Okay, so customers impose their trust in a life insurance company, and today with the digitization that has happened all across, trust is really digital. Uh, so security first is the mantra that we adopt everywhere in Kotak Life. Uh, so we believe that we are custodians of not only customers' money but also of customers' data. And how do we really protect it? And how should one protect it? So it is important to have a robust data governance framework. So what we do in that framework is first we define what is sensitive data. We understand what is the life cycle of the data, how the data, where does it come from, where is it used, where does it end. Having done that, we give access to this data only to those who really need to have access to that data. Once identified who needs to have access, we build very, very strong and robust access control mechanisms. Of course, we can't do this for all kind of data, Kirat. So we also classify the data into what is sensitive, what is critical, what is public. And for sensitive critical data, we have implemented very strong processes so that we ensure adherence and compliance to not only from a customer point of view, but also from a regulatory point of view. From a technology point of view, we ensure that the data is encrypted, masked when it is at rest so that it cannot be misused. This is a very important element, and given the fact that the DPDP Act has been enforced, I think the focus will be more and more on data, and like us, other custodians of data will make their data management processes very robust.
Makes a lot of sense, Kirti. Thanks for that response.
I think the second question you asked was about the cloud management systems.
Yes, if you could highlight that.
Yeah. So for us, the cloud strategy has always been workload based, Kirat. So we never have adopted a lift and shift strategy. So only those workloads which really move to the cloud, we take to the cloud. For example, those where predominant users are either customers or outside of Kotak Life, that's one. Where there is a need to have that kind of a scalability and resilience, or where we really want to integrate and interconnect with the ecosystem, or there are only some tools that are available in the cloud. Only those workloads we take to the cloud. And How do we ensure the data management in the cloud? I think it's for us to do that, Kirat, right? Though it is the cloud, we are custodians of data. So we pretty much do everything that we do to the data on the cloud that we do for data on premises. And I mentioned a lot of things in earlier. All those apply. But in addition to that, we also look at the cloud posture management because uh, cloud, you know that it's very easy to configure stuff. So we ensure that in real time basis, we check the posture so that we ensure that whatever is on the cloud is secure. We also have implemented tools to check the security aspects of infra as a code or third party software, API security, web application security. All that is done in a more rigorous manner when we talk about the cloud. So net, whether the data is on-prem or on the cloud, we really have to ensure that we protect because we are custodians of the customer's trust and the customer's data.
Thank you, Kirti. Thank you for highlighting the nuanced approach that your organization is taking because you're right, there cannot be a blanket approach to things. You need to check the usability and who needs to have access and who doesn't, and take decisions likewise. Uh, Moving from data to how you maybe use this data, because you have a vast base of customers, like you mentioned, about 5 crore lives, are invested with you, which means that financial advice needs to be customized to this customer base, their financial goals and liabilities, maybe their economic standing. How are you leveraging analytics for personalized offerings, accurate risk assessment, and insurance products that will effectively serve your customers?
So that's a great question again, Kirat. And data, if you don't use it properly, then it is really of no use. And we use data very, very extensively in many of the areas that you mentioned, and many more also. And today, this is the age where every customer really wants personalized offers and personalized propositions. So using the data, we have created personalized offerings. We call them PASA, which is pre-approved, sum assured. So basis the demographic profile of a customer or the behavior of the customer, be it throughout the life cycle of the product that she has already purchased, we identify that what could be a, an approved offer, say for a Kirat, okay, because we know Kirat well. We know her financial health, we know her medical health, we know her behavior with us. So we curate a customized offering for such customers, and that is available to our distribution to offer to the customer. So personalized offerings are there using very robust data analytics. Apart from that, we use predictive models in risk assessment. See, at the end of the day, insurance is all about risk assessment and risk management, and there are many use cases. So we use predictive models to assist in the uh, assessment of persistency risk. Persistency means whether the customer will stay with us throughout the life cycle of the product. Our products are tenured products, long-term products, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. So it is in the interest of the customer to remain invested throughout the tenure of the product. And it's also beneficial to us as an insurer. So we do look at data and we assess what is going to be the persistency of all types of customers by product, by geography, individually also, so that we are able to guide the customer to remain invested and get the benefit of an insurance product. So that's the first predictive model that we have. The other one is claims, right? Because at the end of the day, we are here to pay claims, but we also need to look at the risk of fraudulent claims. And we use a lot of data, and we have been in this business for more than 20 years. So along with 5 crore lives, we have rich data of 20 years. So we also have built predictive models to assess the claims risk. And all this actually feeds into our underwriting decision making. So at the point of sale, all this data is made available to the underwriter. So basis the experience of the cohort of customers, underwriters are able to take meaningful decisions. So they are able to assess the risk of a new customer at the point of sale. So that's from a risk assessment point of view. But we also use data and analytics to help us in our process efficiency. For example, we use a lot of analytics and basis the kind of claim that comes to us. there's a model which runs, and we have built straight through processing for claims, especially for our microfinance customers, the MFI customers as we call them, so that the experience of claims is good. We are able to turn it around in a couple of hours. We also use a lot of data and analytics in our servicing side. So whenever a customer reaches to us, could be for change of address, could be for change of nominee, we look at the data, we assess the risk, and if the risk in that particular process or the request that the customer has come to us with is minimal, then again we go for straight through processing so that we are able to turn around the service request very, very quickly. So, like I said, analytics used for new personalized offerings in risk assessment and also to improve efficiency of our processes.
That's great. Thank you so much for laying it out like that so clearly. And it's so great to know that you're using analytics to keep your customers at the center of what you do. I think that's also something that people are expecting more and more as they've become more financially literate. I think we're in a time where Indians are increasingly more financially aware than maybe they were a couple of decades ago. And that's my next question, actually, because now people are exploring life insurance options because they want to be financially secure into the sunset years of their life. But the competition in the market is very fierce. So, what role does technology play in customer acquisition, maybe for Kotak Mahindra Life Insurance? And how do you align technology with the business strategies in this regard?
So, Kirat, technology is an integral part of everything that we do, and definitely an integral part of the customer acquisition processes. Our purchase and service, both the journeys are 100% digital. Okay? So without that, I mean, our distribution folks are not able to acquire a customer. And what role does technology play in this digital process? So we have done very, very deep integration with partners and with the ecosystem. For example, we have integrated with the credit bureaus. We have integrated with IIB, which is the insurance bureau, to be able to get financial information of the customer so that the financial underwriting is easy. So customer doesn't have to provide all these documents to us. For CKYC, eKYC, integration is available with the CKYC registry or with Aadhaar, so that the KYC is also completely digital. We have integration with NSDL for PAN verification. So demographic, KYC, financial underwriting also we have integrated with the ecosystem. We have also integrated now with the account aggregators. So that the financial information is easily available. And of course, like everybody, we have integrated with multiple payment gateways. But we also use technology to assess the health of the customer to an extent, and large part, therefore, of our medical underwriting is happening through technology. So, like I said, without this, today processing will be impossible and we will not be able to give the experience to the customer that the experience really wants. So technology is integral to the acquisition process. The next question that you asked, I think, was about how do we align the technology with the business strategy, right?
Yeah.
So all the technology implementations that we do are use case based. Okay? We implement technology to solve real world business challenges only. So for us, technology, for the sake of technology, doesn't work, right? So it always has to go hand in hand with what the business wants. And business strategy is completely, so technology strategy is completely aligned with business strategy. In many cases, the business wants to implement something. They will first, they will reach out to us, and both of us will jointly work with, because without a particular technology in place, some of the business strategic decisions or business models will just not work. And many cases, whatever we do, we are always aligned. I'll give you some examples of some of the business decisions that we took where technology has absolutely been tightly coupled. Okay, so we have launched some specific products for certain customer segments. So, for example, we launched a product called Protect India, which is for the young generation. And young generation, you know how it is. They want small size products, simple journeys. And without technology, this would just not have been possible, right? So, the technology that we implemented, without which the business strategy would not have worked. We also have a lot of bite sized products available in the purchase journey. Which is the demand of the business. So to conclude, without alignment, technology should not exist in any enterprise, and definitely not does not in Kotak Life.
Thank you. I like how fixed of agenda you are on that. The technology and business, if they are siloed, then the business isn't really working. They're not in alignment. Speaking of technology, I want to move towards technologies that's on everyone's mind. It's emerging technologies like artificial intelligence and machine learning. I'm sure you knew that's where I was going. They're revolutionizing industries with the array of applications that they're useful for. How is Kotak Mahindra leveraging these emerging technologies to augment customer experience, maybe augment employee experience, and bring more sophistication in your offered services? And I'd like to tack on to that. Is there a concern that AI could oust human talent or, reduce our, need for them? And how do you tackle this?
Yeah, the second question is interesting, but I'll first answer the first one. Uh, so we started our AI ML journey some time back, and we started with this was before the Gen AI. Okay, so we started with conversational AI, and we use a lot of conversational AI for servicing. Okay, it's on the web, it's on WhatsApp, it's on every channel that is available to the customers. It is also available in vernacular today. And what has done is that not only it has it freed up the bandwidth of the contact center agents to handle more complex problems of the customers, but the customer is just able to get service at her convenience whenever she wants it, in a language that she is comfortable with. And you know how WhatsApp is, Kirat, right? Very easy to use. I mean,
Yes.
and many of our customers would hesitate to go to a portal, but they just took to this very very quickly, and happy to say that many of these AI based initiatives have helped us really improve our NPS. The other interesting use case of AI that we implemented some time back was to check the liveliness of the customer. And we sell a lot of annuity products, pension products, and because these are long tenured products where we every once in a while, it could be monthly or annually, we make the payout to the annuitant. So the customer has to say that, hey, I am alive, only then we can make the payment. And earlier the customers would have to walk into a branch, and typically they would be senior citizens who opt for such products. They would have to come to a branch and give a declaration. So we are using AI for that. So what the customer really has to do is just click a selfie and send the selfie to us. And the AI algorithm actually checks whether this selfie belongs to, say, Kirat, and whether that person is alive. And this has really changed the game for the annuitants. It is just with the click of a button that they are able to give the declaration digitally to us. We also use face match and liveliness check for detecting frauds in our online channel. And so that also helps in risk assessment.
Yeah.
We use OCR, AI, to identify data from content, be it for KYC, be it for Aadhaar masking. So many use cases here. We've started using AI also in the IT operations and in the cybersecurity space. So while that is not really directly customer facing, but I see a lot of use cases there, and that's the area where we will see more and more AI also being used. So a lot of use cases, we keep evaluating, and we keep working on it. Now, coming to your next question, I think we should not be concerned about whether AI or any technology is really going to oust human talent. Okay, I think technology, no matter how outstanding it is, really needs humans to steer it in the right direction.
Absolutely.
We all know that we are as good as dead if we don't have there is no tech intervention. But to consider technology as a threat, I think it is kind of absurd. Okay, technology helps us to propel our to reach our goals easily. I think so. We need not fear. But what we need to do is that we can up our skills. We can do more things in the shortest possible time, courtesy AI. So I think let us embrace this technology, make it our buddy rather than fearing it. I think, and these are absolutely interesting times, Kirat. So let's maximize our skill sets and make ourselves more and more relevant rather than being afraid of this.
That's very well put, Kirti, and I completely agree with what you just said. Uh, that's my. I'm coming to my final question. I was doing a little bit of research, and you've been with Kotak Mahindra Life Insurance since 2003.
Yes, I'll complete 20 years very soon.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank
Um,
you.
I in the description about you, it said that you have been an early adopter of several cutting edge technologies for your organization, like data center and hyperconverged infrastructure. So I am assuming you have a good sense of what the next big thing is, even before the next big thing becomes that touted thing in the market. So, what, according to you, is the next big thing in technology that you would place your bets on? And is there a way you already have a plan of how you would like to incorporate it within your organization?
So of course, Gen AI, and I'm not saying this because of the hype around it, but that is really going to be a game changer. Uh, it is maturing, uh, mm, but there are already a few use cases that we have in mind. Have we started using it? The answer is no, but I think the potential is phenomenal, and I can tell you where it could be used and where we are exploring it. So life insurance products are really very complex. And whenever a customer reaches out to, say, our contact center agent and has a query, then for the agent to be able to go through the product literature and be able to answer back to the customer is quite a challenge, and that's, I think, an area that we feel that Gen AI could help us, because there are multiple brochures with complex insurance terminologies, and Gen AI perhaps could help our agents. The other thing is the policy documents that are sent to the customers are very complex, and we have to be personalized. So can Gen AI be used to create those documents is something that, from a customer point of view, these are two use cases that we have identified, and we are working with some of our partners to see how we take them forward. But I think that this technology has great use cases in technology itself and in coding, right? 80% of your code could be written by a bot, and then you only review it, and that's a wonderful use case there. The productivity of the developers would just grow up phenomenally in IT operations, like I mentioned earlier, to answer user queries. uh, it could be used in cybersecurity, and we have a use case that we are working on as to how do we assess cybersecurity using Gen AI. So I think that is one technology that I am betting on, and not because of the hype, but I really believe that there are very great use cases. The second technology that I would bet on is not really a new technology, but I think the use cases are very promising, and that is the three V's, which is video, voice, and vernacular. And this will become more and more relevant, because when we talk of 5G, and when we talk about the reach of availability of good network in tier 2, tier 3 cities, then these technologies could be used very widely. And as the regulator has a mission of insurance for all by 2047, we absolutely have to reach the tier 3 and tier 4 cities. And while they are all digitally savvy, but what are they savvy with is perhaps OTT and WhatsApp, right? But they are very comfortable with voice, Kirat. So if we embed voice, and if there's a combination of AI into voice and video and combined with vernacular, I think that would really be a game changer, because voice can be easily used by them rather than typing out something on a WhatsApp. So I think these are the two things that I'm betting on, and uh, hopefully what I say comes true. Maybe we talk next year and figure out whether it really happened that way.
Yes, I think we can check our the predictive parts of this conversation maybe with a follow-up chat next year. Kirti, that brings me to the end of this episode of CIO Leadership Live. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for being so candid with your thoughts, for being so open about all of the processes and the technologies that you are working towards. It's wonderful to see how much customer ease and user friendliness is at the center of everything you do, that they might not be tech savvy, that they might belong to tier 3 or tier 4 cities, that they might be belonging to a younger generation that doesn't understand finance but they want to do well in the space anyway. I think it just means that your 5 crore and counting customers are in very good hands, and this has been a very enlightening conversation.
Thank you so much, Kirat. Thank you for having me here. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much, and thank you to all our viewers for watching. Until next time, this is Kirat signing off from CIO Leadership Live.